How's it going, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. So today we're back here at another Stump Talk, and we're going to be talking about backup irons on rifles, and are they necessary in today's kind of modern reality? Now, this is a controversial topic for many people. A lot of people say it is absolutely necessary, and you have another side that says it is not. Well, why is that? And let's see if we can think outside the box. I want to get you thinking about your gear and your rifle to make better decisions for you, for your stuff, right? Let's talk about these things and get an idea that you can come to a conclusion to agree with. So, first off, my go-to rifle, or general purpose rifle, I do not have a rear iron sight on this particular weapon system. But there's other weapon systems that I do run rear irons on. And it's funny enough, is even looking at military doctrine right now with common troops, not talking about special forces because they have more leeway that they kind of can do what they want. But common forces, when they're issued a rifle, typically the Block 1.5 M4 does come with backup irons, right? And it is required per reg to have them on there. But then we have saw in recent months them actually pulling off the rear sights. Now, maybe it's just in specific units around the area, but it all depends on your sighting system. Same with the military, which is funny, is sometimes the military says yes, sometimes they say no. We're gonna dive into why they do that. But the big premise of this, of why, like, should it just be a yes, should it just be a no? My opinion, it shouldn't just be an answer. It should be a process or a reason for it. How many sighting systems do you have on your rifle? That's what, in my opinion, it comes down to. If you have one, then yes, I think you should have a backup method. For example, this rifle right here has 3, and that is forgoing the backup irons. If I would put a backup iron on the back, like say a Magpul or something like that, this would have 4 sighting systems on it. What are your chances of it failing, right? Now, we're not trying to eliminate it, we're trying to risk mitigate. We're mitigating the risk of something occurring to your rifle so you can stay in the fight even if a weapon system or an optic goes down. Now, let's go through the ones that I have, right? First off, pretty much the primary is the ACOG, right? TA31 4 power. Kind of right off the bat, this thing is bomb proof. It is done so much in GWAT and even prior and in the military service. It is known for its reliability and its ruggedness. You can drag it behind a Humvee accidentally, pull it up, and it'll still work. It can be involved in IED blasts. You can just drop it constantly, and it has been known to continue to work. It has even taken rounds through the optic and still work. I think there is a channel out there, I'll probably mention it if I remember it, that did such thing, and it continued to work even when it was beyond abused. So that right there, okay, cool, I have, you know, a possibility of this thing doing really well. Next, I have an RMR. That's just another layer. Fairly ruggedized, right? Fairly reliable. Is it on batteries? Sure. Yes, there is a failure point there, right? But it's up on top. Again, it's got a cover around it. This is the 100 Concepts honeycomb, which is super cool. And then moving on to the next sighting system is the IR device, or IR and visual. Would I want to use that? No. Okay, under nods, yes. Same with the red dot for passive, but probably not the best system. But in a pinch, you could make it work. Not the best whatsoever. I do have a front iron sight on this, actually. This is the Pekka Leaf. And I took off the rear iron sight just because I decided I didn't need one, and I don't feel like re-zeroing my IR just yet at the moment, so I just left the Pekka Leaf front sight on at the moment. So that is my purpose, right? What's the chances of all 3? Or this failing, okay, I can go to this. Okay, this failing, then I got this and this, right? All 3 failing, if all 3 of these fail, it's probably catastrophic with the weapon system itself. So it wouldn't even matter if the optic works, if the gun or the firearm itself can't function to actually perform, right? You're getting into that realm. So that's my argument. Now you have to decide whatever optic you're running, is it more prone to failures, right? Depending on what type of stuff you get. Hey, I'm buying a primary arms optic. Hey, I'm buying a vortex optic. Hey, I'm buying a SIG optic. Well, okay, which ones are more primarily to fail? And if they're known to fail, maybe you should have that backup method. Now, diving into the military side of things, it's funny because the original Block 1.5s, like I was originally talking about, typically always they would run a rear sight with them. Pretty much always. Talking about normal troops, not special forces. But recently, literally in the last several months, when we're going to the new SIG LPVO, they can't fit irons underneath them. So they are forgoing irons, even though reg says they have to, and they're okay with it. So now they're running around with one LPVO as their only sighting system, and they're issuing that to troops. Kind of sketchy in my opinion. I have a love-hate relationship kind of with LPVOs. They're more susceptible to breaking. Do they have benefits? Of course, you know, certain stuff like that. But I just think ultimately it should be up to you. How many sighting systems do you have? And if you have, hey, I just have one, then you should probably look into getting some backup irons. Just my opinion. Now, we're not talking about, you know, precision rifles and stuff like that. Like, oh, well, my bolt gun doesn't have backup irons. Oh, okay. You're getting into specific rules. I'm talking about general purpose here. So the whole purpose of this was to get you to think outside the box. My opinion, what I've saw in my active duty career, what I've saw with training heavily, the weapon systems that I build, you know, do they have a spot? Sure. But if you're willing to forgo some weight, they may not be that necessary. But a lot of times that they are. Some weapon systems just have built-in irons, right? Carry handle, stuff like that, then might as well run it. But ultimately, that's kind of the discussion I wanted to put forth. You have to make the determination. Risk mitigation. Are you risking it? Do you have other methods that are not backups, right? Backups can fail too. A lot of people say, oh, they're bomb-proof and they're great. You'd be surprised. I've saw a lot of bent or broken front sight posts in my time. We'll try to find some photos, but literally I had a whole handful of bent ones, and then they're like, oh, they work just fine. Not always. Again, risk mitigation. It's just, it is what it is. If you guys like this kind of stuff, want to see more of the firearms content is definitely going to be kind of moving to Rumble, but still YouTube is going to be operating 100%, depending, unless they decide to axe me, which a lot of folks are starting to get that. I'm starting to get demonetized because of outdoor activities and pew-pews and stuff that I like. They don't tend to like that, unfortunately. So there is that backup to us. So I would greatly appreciate it if you guys go follow me over there. So if this channel just disappears, hey, there's another method you can still get your content in. So other than that, I just want to discuss, hey, iron sights, beneficial, not beneficial? Do you need them? Do you not need them? There we go. I hope that cleared up some things for you. But other than that, hope you all have a great day.